Oh no. That problem again.
What problem?
That, the BGM.
Oh, okay.
That always ends up happening. Okay. And wait, why am I not moving? It was moving a second ago. What?
I mean, you're moving on my side.
Yeah, that's not useful. How does Racist fix this?
Calm down, you can do this.
Yeah? How did that output just disappear?
It's okay. Hello, chat. I'm taking over Lina's channel. This is what we call social engineering.
How is everything so cursed?
Calm down. That's the regular process of software development. You have 70 people watching you.
Yeah, watching me panic because this literally just worked and now it doesn't work.
You want me to put you a green screen for my computer?
I'm good. Where is this?
Hello. Yesterday, Seija was all gone. I heard lots of you suffered that stream. I'm so sorry.
That was... am I good now? Yeah? No, I'm not.
No.
What?
Oh, no. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Okay?
Wait, how is that crashing? Whoa.
You found like a corner case bug?
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
Undeterministic.
Oh, now it works. Okay.
Okay, now it works.
Something is really cursed about the audio on this. Wait. Oh, no, it does work. It's just that...
You minimize it?
That I restarted it and I didn't...
Oh. Baka user.
Yeah, I'm the problem. Okay, now we're good. Now it works. So hopefully the audio is good, because we just had a little glitch there. Wait, when I opened that, the BGM stopped, but our microphones kept working. That is so cursed. Yeah, hello everyone! Asahi Lina here with my lovely fiancé, Cyan.
Hi.
We just woke up, so we're also pretty dead.
I had curry ramen. So what are we gonna do today, Lina? Why am I here?
So today we're going to design our amazing new streaming system.
Yay!
Yay! Or rather, we're going to design
a design session,
but not a product design. It's actually more of a tech design.
Tech design, system design.
System design,
like
yeah, system design.
Like flow diagram and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a system design on our new streaming system, or more specifically, the control surface and system for the streaming system.
Okay. Okay.
Which I guess needs some explanation.
Something I actually don't know what exactly it does besides being a stream deck.
Okay, so let me tell you about what I have right now. Okay.
Okay.
So obviously I use OBS, and I have, we have some model controls and stuff, and then I have this whole audio system behind it, right?
Yep.
Because I'm an audio nerd and I do lots of crazy audio stuff, and so I have this whole audio system, and you know about this, right? You've been using this control surface thing here.
Oh yeah, the only thing I use is mute button. No?
Yeah, I know. So this is all driven by, right now, by a Stream Deck and a Korg, like MIDI control surface thing. And so I can do things like, I'm on the right now, and I'm on the left now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or change the volume of the microphone, which actually the scale is really bad on that. Cyan is already falling asleep.
No, I'm not yet.
Change the volume of the BGM.
Tell me what's fun about it.
Well, it's kind of useful to be able to change the volumes and stuff on a stream.
Okay.
You don't think so?
Like on a touch screen?
Yeah, or on a physical, sliders.
So that's one thing you want to do is the NekoDeck.
Eventually, yes. The problem that I have right now is that this is all driven by a it's driven by a horrible, hacky, absolutely disgusting Python script.
Okay. Disgusting.
That has been evolving over time with this as I was streaming.
So like difficult to scale?
Yeah, it's not very flexible. It's kind of a mess, and I have to edit the code to change anything, and the same script runs the background music and a whole bunch of other things. And why am I peeking on OBS?
I would say your audio system is definitely cursed. I see like neural networks connecting to each other and I don't know what they do.
I'm just gonna lower the peak a little bit. I thought I fixed that before. See, this is the problem with audio. You're like endlessly tweaking stuff. But anyway. So, it's driven by this horrible Python script, and I have to keep editing it. And if it crashes, if anything goes wrong, if the OBS WebSocket connection goes wrong, if the Stream Deck disconnects, it all starts crashing. And if I restart it, the BGM stops and starts, and it resets all my audio settings. It's all a mess. And the problem is that now it's not just me. Now it's me and Cyan. And we have two computers. And we have two models. And we have two microphones. I don't have enough sliders on this thing anymore.
Oopsie.
So, this script has been due for a redesign for a very long time. And my idea is that, although I love hardware control surfaces and they're great and I still plan to use them, the whole system is way too complicated to just, put on physical sliders and we're done, right? So I want something more dynamic. Even a Stream Deck. A Stream Deck is okay for switching scenes and toggles. And you can have pages and stuff like that, which I already do. I have 3 pages actually on my current script. 2 actually, sorry. But you can't do sliders on a Stream Deck. Not well, anyway. And it doesn't really have it's like too limited, and you can get the bigger ones, but still, like, it's still squares. Not everything has to be squares. So my plan is to have a web interface for everything. And so that web interface, we can use it from a touchscreen on the Stream computer, but we could also use it from a tablet. So we could even go, you could have, if we're going somewhere else in the room, we could just use the tablet to control it. Or we could just use a computer with a mouse. Or, it's just a lot more flexible. And since it's a web interface, it means we can have, we can control the OBS scenes, we can control the volume levels with sliders. So we can have multiple pages and multiple modes, and it can be more dynamic depending on what we're doing. Because, for example, when I'm streaming, I want to have a certain set of volume controls. That handy, right? Like my mic volume, like say a Discord call volume, maybe the PC volume. But when I'm not streaming, I want a different set of things, right? Like maybe I want the volume of the like the piano instruments and just the computers. And also, when I'm streaming, I want to hear what's going on the stream on my headphones, right? When I'm not streaming, I want to be using my speakers.
Presets.
Exactly. So, and for example, when we're streaming, we probably both want to, when we're streaming together, we both want to hear the same thing on the headphones. But when we're just working individually, we want to hear each own's computer on the headphones, right? So, it's not just for streaming, it's just for when we're using, when we're not streaming when we have to be able to control our audio system. And this is all driven by a big digital mixer thing that I have. And right now, that is configured using a text file with JSON in it. Which means every time I want to change the volume in that, I have to edit some JSON, which is not optimal.
Okay.
So that definitely needs a UI. Yes, OBS is WebRPC. That's all that you have this works. Like when I switch scenes in like this is using a Stream Deck and it's already using WebRTC. So that not WebRTC, sorry, WebSockets. Yes, it's a WebSocket. So the plan is to design an amazing new system that is going to be modular. And so the idea is that not only is it going to have this web interface, which is the main one, but we can also plug in other front ends like a Stream Deck or this thing, and they will control some part of everything.
Okay.
The web interface is for everything, and then we can have other things for specific things, which is convenient. And then I also want the backend to be modular. I think the fancy word for this is microservices.
Okay.
Because if I need to change something, I don't want to have to restart everything. And also, I don't want to have to run everything on the same computer. So, for example, there's going to be a server that hosts, coordinates everything. But if I am running... is the audio good, by the way? Because I keep seeing this peaking. I'm not worried. Nya?
How's the audio, everybody?
Like, is the sound clean or...
Yeah, I keep seeing the pick.
It might just be a little... Hopefully it's... Is it better now? I think it might be better now, yeah. I think the limiter was a little bit... just slightly late. It should be good
Under
now.
control.
Okay, I think we're good now. So because when I shout though, but... Okay. So... Yes. So the reason why I want to have sort of microservice... I know this is a really... I know it sounds like I'm overdoing this, but what I really mean is that it's going to be a central coordinator server and then different modules that connect to it. And so the idea is that if I have to restart, for example, the audio system, I don't want to have to restart OBS. I don't want to have to restart all that part. I'm still annoyed that this is peaking. Why is it peaking? Hold on. Yeah. Okay, that's... Yeah, I think it's just my limiter is not... Lower the volume a little bit.
It's okay.
Okay, hopefully it's a little better now. Yeah, it's better. Sorry. So yeah, as I was saying, I don't want to have to restart everything when something goes down. Like if my Stream Deck crashes, if a USB flakes out on the Stream Deck, I don't want that to then cause anything else to break. I can just restart the Stream Deck client module and then it will come back. So same with, say OBS. Even if OBS restarts, I don't have to restart everything. Or as you saw in the beginning of this stream when I was having audio troubles, ideally, if that happens, I just restart the audio system and everything else works, right? And I don't have to restart OBS. Because right now this Python script is the control of everything. So I have to restart it, like the BGM too, right? If one of these things breaks, I don't want the background music to stop. So, and then I also want to be able to have these on different computers. So if the computer running the stream is not the computer that is running the audio system, for example, when Cyan is streaming right now, she uses her computer, but she still uses the computer running the, like this stream computer that I'm using now for the microphone processing and the audio mixing. So, like right now, she doesn't have the ability to control what audio sources go into her stream. Precisely, right? Which is a little bit annoying. So, yeah, I want this to be able to run on different computers. So that's my plan. And I have some idea of how I want to do the back end. But I have no idea how to do the front end. So are you following? Have I already lost you, Cyan?
No, I'm here.
You're here? I think
Yeah.
we're both just sleepy because we just woke up.
No, I'm not particularly
not?
sleepy. Stop touching me! I'm a coworker if you're not your boss.
Yes, a pops up backend. So that's where I'm getting at. So I think we should probably switch to a text something.
Yeah.
Let me make sure there's nothing interesting here. Should be good.
Oh god, text editor.
What do you want?
No,
No, what?
it's fine.
What? Is it not fine?
It's okay. It's okay.
What do you mean it's okay?
I started doing a system design so full of diagrams like...
I mean, we could try, but I'm terrible at drawing. You gonna draw it for me?
It's okay, you can just use arrows.
You can draw it for me if you want.
I don't think this design involves lots of arrows. It just have front and back end, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's not too complicated. So go ahead.
Yeah. So my... Oh, wait, is this slow now? Yeah. Wow, I think the FPS just dropped on OBS. Can you move around? Yeah, FPS really dropped on OBS now. Wow. How did that happen?
Turns into a debug stream. It's okay, Miss Lina. Focus on your task. You don't have to worry about that. Nobody cares about your FPS.
How is my OBS not even handling two little bottles? Oh, that's better now. Okay, it was something with the... Oh, right, I remember that. Yeah, like the Carla stuff really picks the GPU. That's really crazy. Okay, we're back. All right. This is what happens when you have like apps that aren't supposed to be using the GPU, but you have a 4K screen. It's like something is really not optimized. Okay.
Hi.
But you should be asking me questions too.
I'm not sure why you hired me here for.
Well, you're gonna have to use this, so you should also be helping design it.
Buttons and sliders, I guess?
No, not the front end. We'll worry about the front end later. But like, so my idea is that I want to have, I don't want to do something that I am completely unfamiliar with because, like the goal is to make this work, you know? So for the backend, I want to use stuff that I am already familiar with for the most part. So the backend, I guess we should use like Markdown or something. The backend is going to be Python. And I would like some opinions on data storage. So the idea here is that if you have multiple instances of the front end open, they should synchronize with each other. I have done this in the past with like WebSockets and things like that. And so for me the main question is what should the backend data storage be? My kind of go-to is Postgres because I've used that many times before. And I would just build a sort of kind of hierarchical, I don't want to say really document database, but kind of a key value store, because that's just much more flexible for this kind of thing. So I would have things like every slider on the UI is like mapped to a path and it has a value, and just stick that in the database. So the database schema would be very simple. But I know there are other storage systems that people use. So if you have any ideas about something that is like makes perfect sense for this, please do let me know. But that would be my sort of what I have experience with is that you can use Postgres with, you can have like triggers, right? So it gives you notifications when something changes in the database. And then you can have like a WebSocket that watches them. And that way you can have the whole real-time thing going. So that would be my go-to, but I am willing. I do want to use Python, but I'm willing to change. I'm willing to change the database if it makes sense. Yeah, SQL and store everything as JSON is kind of my idea. At least the values, right? Like you could have a key, like say mixer. I'd have to think a little about this, but like mixer. And then I guess it would be like an output, right? So since we want to have separate mixers for like streaming and regular users, it means mixer stream, PC Cyan, right, or something like that, or even just as a pass. And that would be the key, right? And then you would have a value which is just JSON, and in this case it would just be a number, right? So because it's just a slider. Yeah, so how do you pronounce it? Is it Redis or Redis? I actually don't know.
Redis is, I think, it's more cache and lightweighted.
Yeah.
I don't think any choice is wrong in this context.
Yeah.
Especially this is like more like a personal project, not considering scalability.
Yeah.
I would say try Redis is very commonly used. I think, speaking from a pod deck manager.
I'm gonna, because I've actually never
Don't
used
touch code
Redis
perspective.
myself.
It's pretty easy to use.
Like the yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, this sounds pretty similar to what I need. So it might make more sense to use Redis. Is Redis persistent, or is it just? It's not like memcache, right? Is it?
Oh god, it's been a while since I used it. I just know everybody uses it. You can just Google.
I mean, if it's simple like this, I don't mind switching to this. Like whatever works, right? And like I know I can build this with Postgres, but obviously there's going to be some boilerplate. If this is doing exactly what we need, then I'm happy to use Redis. And I think like the main thing for this is that it has to be consistent. How do I put this? Like the view of multiple clients has to be fully consistent. So like in Postgres, you would do this with transactions, so that if you have a WebSocket, and you're like subscribing to something, then you would get the current state, and you're guaranteed that then every update after that is representing is representing the current state after they are applied. So as long as you can do that, as long as I can like query Redis for a subset of keys and then guarantee that every update to those keys after that gets a notification at the client, then I think that's fine then.
Try it. I feel like every company I use for kind of use Redis.
Yeah. Like I've heard about it a lot. I've just never used it, right? So like if I were to use things that I know work, I know Postgres works for this. So we're gonna just put Redis here, and give it a try when we actually start building this. I might or might not still use Postgres for something. I'm not sure yet. But at least the main question is what's going to be the main real-time storage backend. So that's one thing. And then for the front-end web server, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if it's just Python, it's going to be WSGI. I normally would use Flask for the framework. And then for the front-end, it's probably just going to be like an Nginx or something, or even no front-end web server, depending on how I'm running it. But that doesn't really matter. That's just a deployment question. It's just going to be a WSGI app. But as that's the backend, and that's actually the least interesting story. Why are you reading about on your phone?
Oh, I'm reading on Redis.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm just checking.
Can I please learn?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Oh, that's the other thing. This Redis queue for posting subscribe messages. So I wanted to ask about that because the other thing I need besides a key value store is just a message system. Because, for example, some actions in the web interface are just messages, like, for example, transition in OBS, right? And that's not changing a stored value. That's just sending a command to OBS, and then OBS would update other values like currency and things like that. So in the case of audio, you have a mixer, which is editing the mixer values. And then you have a listener, which is actually receiving those and applying them to the hardware or software mixers. But for OBS, you wouldn't edit values in a key value store. You would set commands to OBS, like change scene or like transition. And then OBS would update the key value store with the current state, so it can be shown in the UI. So there's two different, sometimes the key value store is the like you update the key value store and that updates the state, and sometimes you send the messages to OBS and then or something like that, and then that updates the state, right? So I need a way to send messages. So if Redis can do that, that is also very good. And so one interesting question here actually is, how are the different backend modules going to work? Because if everything is using Redis, then maybe the right way, one way to build this would be to just have one instance of Redis and one backend, and the backend is the only thing that talks to Redis, and then it has an API with like WebSockets or whatever, and everything goes through the backend. So like any modules will go through the backend. But the other way to do this is that, for example, the OBS client, if everything is going through Redis, maybe the mixer client and the OBS client should just connect to Redis directly. And I think that's kind of makes sense, actually. So that would be something to investigate. But if Redis is implementing all these primitives sort of cleanly, then I think that makes sense.
Are you going to have any other database?
I don't know. We might be able to just put everything in Redis as long as it has persistence and is reliable.
I think we need to look into this a little more.
We will. Today is not like, today is not about deciding 100% of everything. It's about sort of researching the options.
Yeah, like Redis feels like something really fast, and usually have like some other kind of relational or non-relational database storing other data, but we don't really have.
The thing is, we don't have a lot of data. The biggest thing that's going to be here is, besides all this little mixer stuff is really trivial, but I do eventually want to have things like a karaoke front end where we can like, for example, we have a list of karaoke backing tracks, and then you can pick them. But obviously, those backing tracks are just going to be files on the server or something, right? So the list and the metadata could even still be in Redis, like as long as it's reliable and the data doesn't just disappear or something. Then I don't really mind if everything is in a key value store. And you can OBS directly my backfire if it hands. No, but like what I mean is that there's going to be a OBS like manager Python script, right? And that will connect to OBS via WebSockets, and it would connect to Redis. But it doesn't have to connect to like the Flask backend that then connects to Redis. So then, obviously there is going to be a backend for the web interface. That's still going to be Python, WSGI, and Flask. But that backend should be pretty thin, because this is all real time. All the logic is going to have to be in JavaScript anyway. So yeah, exactly. Flask server, Redis queue, and then OBS client, and also the key value store. So let's talk about the front end, because that's the bigger question I have.
Okay.
So someone else, I think, is this going to be a traditional web app, or with some real-time stuff, or a single-page application? I think this has to be a single-page application, or at least a how do I put this? As either a single-page application or a paged, a few top-level pages application. But I think because we're going to be using a lot of JavaScript anyway to drive all the real-time stuff. We might as well just put the entire front-end in JavaScript and just not have to deal with any of the front-end stuff in Python because, otherwise you're just like, kind of what's the point of having, app routing in Python and then having to put all this real-time logic in JavaScript anyway? It doesn't make sense, I think. So we might as well go full single-page application and completely separate the front-end from the back-end, which also means that ideally, if I update the front-end, I don't even have to touch the back-end. Because if the back-end is just, a proxy for Redis with this key value stuff, then the back-end doesn't even have to, it's going to be very, very small, very simple. And also, by the way, there's no access control here. There's no need for any security. There's no need for any, this is all internal. This is just for us or for whoever wants to run it, but never going to be exposed to the outside world. Or if it ever is, it will be behind a separate authentication gateway. So we do not need any kind of data validation. We don't need,
authentication, nothing, no user system, no password.
We might eventually want to have users for profiles like you and me, for example, for some reason. But we're not going to build authentication into this whole thing. If we ever need to put this on the internet, we'll just put it behind a separate HTTP auth, an Nginx or something. And it's never going to be someone can sign up and do stuff. So we don't have to worry about validating all the data in the backend or anything like that. The front end could just have full access to the entire Redis key value store, and that's okay.
Okay.
So should the front end communicate with the data store directly or through the Python backend? It's going to need a web interface. I don't know if Redis offers an API that it would even avoid having Python as a backend at all. I guess that's something to investigate with Redis. But I feel like I do still want some kind of ability to do things in the backend, just sort of for flexibility. But I'm not sure. So that's something that we could investigate. And yes, the database might not be needed if we just put everything in Redis. But yeah, another thing I wanted to do is our guitar tabs. I'm gonna put our guitar tabs here.
Oh?
So we can more easily pick them, and then we know we have the ones we like, and
so reading text files.
Yeah, I can make an importer and steal them from that website, and then we can have them on my screen and stuff.
Okay.
So, so yeah, the biggest question I wanted to answer today is what web frontend are we going to use? Because I am pretty comfortable with backends, and I don't mind learning Redis, and it's a key value store. It's not going to surprise me. I've used Memcached before. I've used Postgres. I've used Python. I'm not scared by the idea of PubSub, and I know how to deploy all this. And by the way, I plan to actually just store all this both in a Git repo and in my NAS, so that I can just edit stuff and then reload on a server, and that way, because this is going to be running on multiple computers, but it'll all be synchronized anyway. The question is the front end, because I have absolutely no idea about front end web development. I can write HTML, I can write CSS, but I'm kind of stuck a few years in the past, and the last JavaScript framework I used was jQuery.
Mm-hmm.
Except one time I touched Angular, but let's not talk about that. I have no idea what's modern and what's reasonable. As you have noticed, I have not mentioned Node.js in the backend. I do not want Node.js in the backend, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use some Node-based, compiler for the front end. So it's going to be CSS.js. Yes, I could just code it in jQuery. I know I could build this in jQuery, but come on, there's better stuff these days. And specifically, the web interface is going to be a lot of components, and it has this entire, synchronizing state thing going on, which is kind of exactly what modern web frameworks are built to solve, I believe. What I really need to make this reasonable, right? What I really need is something with obviously the state management sync. If it's something that has been tested and sort of proven to work with the kind of real-time backend thing that I talked about, that's nice. And I want to have some kind of component system because, like, I'm gonna have like sliders, right? And then I have a bunch of sliders, and obviously that has to be very well modularized so that I'm not copying and pasting sliders in HTML. It's going to be like tabs and nesting and things like that.
What other requirements you have? State management component?
Yeah, like basically the server, obviously the server is going to be streaming state into the client, and the client is going to give a view of that state in JavaScript, and that has to be synchronized with the HTML in a way that doesn't become a problem. I think that's the main thing. Obviously, over time, I wanted to have, like, one of the nice things is that if there's a framework that has a decent community, that's nice because it'll have more like more examples and things like that. But I don't need something that and I put this like, it doesn't need to be the most popular framework just because everyone uses it, because, well, guess what, I don't use it, so I don't care. And I'm gonna be writing the code. But I also don't want to use something that is like super niche and nobody knows about, because then, can't ask questions or no one's gonna know what I'm doing. So what are you reading? React now, or?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, React and Vue are the most popular ones now. I used React before, like it has everything you want, state, components. I never used Vue, and I really want to try it. I wouldn't mind writing some code with it, and it has a really cool community.
I think the one thing I keep hearing about React is that, like, the way it does sort of state management is like really heavy on the browser. Like I just sort of keep hearing that like
Vue is faster.
Yeah.
Compared to that, I do feel like both Vue and the React are what most people use.
Because I do want this to be fairly lightweight, both because obviously I don't want this eating resources. If it's going to be running on any random stream machine or in the background, the last thing I want is for it to like picking my CPUs every time I click a button. And if I'm moving a slider, that's easily going to be creating 10-20 events per second, and updating the slider 10-20 times per second, and going through the server and everything. And we're on the LAN. Going to the server is not going to be a problem. This is all going to be very fast. But I don't want the front end to become a bottleneck there and be weird. So I want it to be very smooth. And also I want this to be able to run on like old Android tablets. And like there is no excuse for something this simple to be hogging the CPU of anything. So whatever I use, I don't want, like, if whatever we choose ends up being slow for this use case, that was the wrong choice. Like, there is no excuse for this kind of web app to be slow. So, no, we are not doing server-side rendering because we're not running any of this on the server. This is going to be running all on the client, and it should still be fast enough. So, no server-side rendering, please. And there's no reason to do server-side rendering because none of the UI is static, right? Everything is dynamic, and everything is pulling events, like data from the server. So what is there for the server to render? Like, the server is not going to render a slider, right? So it doesn't make any sense. So let's see, on client side, I'm going to say lightweight as a requirement. All right, so those are the requirements. So what options do we have? People have mentioned let's has anything been mentioned other than the ones we already talked about?
The lightweight one.
Which one? View?
Sweet.
Svelte?
Go down, go down, go down. Up.
This one?
Yeah.
Svelte? Yeah, Svelte is the one that I mentioned. I don't know what HDMX is. I keep hearing about it. So the three ones that I saw mentioned also previously were Vue, Svelte, and React. Let's not go with Angular.
We had it enough at work.
had-
Thank you.
So I guess my question is, how do these compare?
React is heavier.
Let's open the get started pages. Actually, you know, this is a good test. Like,
Oh,
if I go to React here and Svelte, like, and Vue, so if I click, how fast do the websites load?
how fast is the
started?
website?
Svelte is like the fastest one, but they're all pretty fast. Okay, we'll give it up.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, based on what we're gonna do, it doesn't feel like it's something super heavy.
It's not.
The use case is pretty.
I think that, and this is going to be actually a little bit tricky to evaluate, but I think that actually the most important part of this, and this is really subtle, is how well can I modularize? Because it's a little funny because this is not usually the kind of work I do, but like I've done previously on stream, but I have done this kind of thing in the past. In general, I am a big fan of meta programming, not in the sort of overdoing it sense, but in the I don't want to duplicate code, like as little as possible. So, for example, the mixer volume controls, right? My ideal end goal is I am editing a mixer panel, and every mixer slider is one line of code, and that does everything, right? That sets up the backend communication, the redis, like the path, sets up the HTML, sets up, you know, like it should be one line of code to invoke a new mixer control. I should not have to add one line of code in like this file, and then one line of code in that file, and then one line of code in that file, or even many. And when I say one line of code, it could be, you know, a couple of lines if it's wider than the screen to set all the settings. But still, it should be like, I do not want to duplicate any code, right? For example, even the redis path, like if I'm in a mixer, I wanted to be able to pick up the, say, the parent path from somewhere, so I don't even have to duplicate the beginning of the path for everything. Stuff like that. Like, it should be very, the absolute minimum number of duplication. So that's, for me, that's the most important part, because I want to be able to change this super, super easily. I don't want to be spending my time, you know, like hacking on this forever. Like once the base, that's the other thing. And I should mention this. This is going to be open source, but it's not designed to be used by, as a, you know, sort of big framework that everyone can use. But it should be something that you can just customize by editing the code. I'm not trying to build a meta system here where you can like drag and drop volume controls and things like that. But I want any, at least somewhat tech-savvy VTuber or streamer to be able to just git clone the repository and just hack on it and turn it into their own thing. And for that, this is critical, right? Like you need to be able to edit the code as the main front end for configuring the interface. And it should be really easy. So that's, to me, that's very important. And I think that's what's going to make or break one of these frameworks. If any one of these frameworks requires you to add multiple lines of code to invoke a controller or something like that, or to set up the, you know, some configuration for it, then that's kind of an out. All right.
Well, at least in my experience, I think React has with all the functionality, easy to edit. If you want to share with people, I guess it matters if it's popular or not. So it depends on how many people can maintain it.
I think I think anything that is at least like all these three, right? Like this is all pretty. Anything that has enough of a sort of community that is good.
Let's learn more. I want to learn more.
View? How you call it?
I don't
View?
know. View?
I think it's view. I'm
View?
guessing. Yeah, it's view. Yeah, it's right there. It's right there in the intro. Okay, so we can try some of these things today, because honestly, I think today we should try to. How about we try to build a mixer? Not the final like everything done mixer. Not the backend. Just literally sliders. Like just build a slider that then like console logs the values and prove that it works.
Yeah.
Something like that. What's Vite? Someone's mentioning Vite. I don't know what Vite is. I do not know what this is. What's NekoDeck? That's what we've been talking about this entire thing. Oh, Vite is the build tool. Okay, so that's the other thing is I don't know I don't even know what these frameworks do. Like, I know everything runs on Node these days for compiling, and like how do I use these frameworks? I actually do not know. Like, I assume these are mostly running through some kind of compiler. Like, should I be using Vite for this? I have no idea. Someone tell me. Yes, I have Node.js and NPM. That's the one thing I have.
Go to the beginner page and summon a website.
I have NPM. That's the only thing I have. NPM create Vite.latest. So what does that do? Because Vite is a build tool, but then how do I...
Just try the getting started page. Get a website running and you can start doing things on it.
Okay. But actually, how does this... Because this is like... creating an application. Yeah, this is already going into the code. Like, how do I... Okay, so it's... Okay, so you can just use view at latest. Let's try Vite. Okay. Vite.
It's fun.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Vite, so... Okay, fine. Oh, good. So what? So Vite is a build tool for all of those frameworks? Like, how does it work? Oh, it actually... Look, this is... Are you like... This is actually kind of cool. It just prompts you.
Oh, it's good.
That's actually really cute. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing. I do not know TypeScript. Should I be using JavaScript or TypeScript? I don't mind learning a new language. I'm not scared of learning a new language, and I assume it's pretty similar to JavaScript. But I have no idea. Also, my knowledge of JavaScript is like stuck in the past, so like I don't even use like constant stuff like that. So
I think people use TypeScript nowadays.
Yeah, I think people use TypeScript. Okay, everyone's saying TypeScript, so TypeScript. Okay, well, this gets points for easy start, right?
So are you just gonna grab the front end and start push sliders on it?
So what?
Never mind.
What? So how does this work? Okay. I guess we already ran this, but how does this actually work? What did this create in here? Probably a lot of node modules. Yeah, okay. So we have... view, hello world view, and main TypeScripts and styles. I do not know what that is, and then a random logo. Okay. Script setup. I don't know what setup is. I don't know what template is. I can see a style. That I know that. And there's a big style, which I don't mind. No, I hope that the styles can at least be scoped, but it looks like it because it says style scoped. I do not know what this is. And then there's a hello world.view. TypeScript, import ref from view, define props, message string, and there's a count, ref 0, okay. And there's a template with like the message and then a button on click it increments count directly like that. Interesting. And then it's just HTML, okay. How would this work on Kate? Why wouldn't it work on Kate?
People are intimidated by your choice. I stand for women.
Yeah, I think I get that. Like the ref is like the reactive stuff, right? So, what is the 0 though? Oh, the default. That's the default, right? That's just the default value. Okay.
What is it counting?
Oh, it's just there's the clicks on the button. That's like the demo.
Ah, okay. It's like a value being.
Yeah. I'm a little confused here because it's talking about using view from the CDN, and we're not. Those are from. Yeah, okay. I guess we don't care about that. So this is for mounting on places. Debugging on Kate and restricting variables if needed. I don't know how any of that works. I mean, I know how to use developer tools, but like, is it better if I use VS Code? Is this the one reason that I'm gonna start using VS Code?
Yeah.
I mean,
I try vibe coding?
If it's no, please. But like, if it's legitimately has good integration for all this stuff, I don't mind using VS Code. If there's actually a good reason, because I've never had a good reason to use VS Code so far, but. I don't mind trying it. Okay, so what do we have? The application instance, create app. Is that what was in the top here? No? Where did? Oh, it's in main.ts, okay. Oh, so you just import both styles and the app. Interesting. Yeah, so that just went on hash app, but then it's, I guess that's the default or something like that. Yeah, so this is this exactly. Oh, okay, so then there's supposed to be like a... Is there supposed to be a... Where does this container element show up? Because it says it's going into the app. But then is there no did I miss an HTML file here? No. Oh, is it here? Oh, okay, there's an actual index HTML that has the app div in it. Okay, so you need like an index HTML, and then you put like a container where the whole app goes.
Oh.
Okay. So then the styles, I guess, just get injected in there or something. So there's no like global style then, right? Because normally in typical HTML, you put the styles in the header, and then everything uses those styles. But I guess in this case, the styles just go like behind the scenes, get automatically put into the subset of the tree where it goes. Okay. I mean, this makes sense. Does this kind of make sense to you? Are you okay, Cyan? Are you like?
I'm okay.
You okay? So, okay, that makes sense. And then, in-dom root component template. Yeah, well, we're not gonna do that for sure. So, oh, using view without a build step. Okay, yeah, but I don't care. I don't mind having a build step. I don't mind having a build step because, this is all, like, if I'm gonna deploy this on a server, I might just build on a client and, you know, like in an NAS, and then it'll be built. Or I'll add some kind of script. So how does this actually build? I'm curious. Like before you, like this is using npm run. How would I deploy this? Like, does this build me a tree? I can. So npm run build. Ah, yes, and then it gives me a this tree, and that has apparently everything in a single JS file, which makes sense. Yeah, okay, so this is reasonable. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this kind of thing. And it doesn't, and that's the other thing. This is not slow. Like, if the build step here is like 2 seconds like this, I don't mind. And I hope it doesn't become much slower as I add stuff, because I'm not gonna really be. I will try not to use. Actually, how much stuff is in node modules? That's a good question. Not too many. Because I've seen some absolutely ridiculous dependency trees for Node.js stuff. Like 1 page of dependencies. This doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't want this to blow up at all, because I really just need some basic HTML components and talking to a server stuff. I like to be very careful about, you know, exploding dependency trees in my projects. I don't want this to become a you know, gigabytes of JavaScript. So, you know, if the build is taking like 2 seconds like this, I hope it stays like that, because there's no reason for it to be taking longer than that, I think. So, yeah. I'm relatively happy with this so far. I mean, there's gonna be stuff in here, but still, look, this is not that much, all things considered. If you actually look at the dependency tree for a typical Python project with all the, you know, modules you import, it's gonna be on the same. It's gonna be on the same, around the same level. This is not crazy, especially for something like Vue, which presumably has a lot of fun stuff. So yes, I'm pretty happy with this. I expected worse for the Node universe. So okay, And then there's preview. Okay, so how about we try to do the slider thing I mentioned?
Yeah.
There probably is already an example. I don't mind using that. I just want to see if I can like get to the point where it's like 1 line for multiple sliders and stuff like that. Are you okay? You're sleepy.
1 line with multiple sliders?
No, like 1 line for each slider when I have multiple sliders.
Okay.
Are you okay? Cyan is like really sleepy. Oh, swiper. Yeah, that's what I want actually, a swiper. Wait, no. Hold on. This is different. That's just a bad. No, okay. Slider component, sorry. Yeah, this kind of thing, but I wanted vertical and I want to have a very different style though. Vertical, yes. So how do I do this? How do I... What's prime view? What's chat Cyan? Everyone's telling me to try things, but what are these things? You used to build your own component thing. Okay. And so it's components?
You got gift subs.
Oh, thank you so much! Wait, 50? 50 gift memberships? That's crazy. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much. Oh my god. That's crazy. Thank you so much. That's crazy. So I need to npm Tailwind CSS. And then I need to put this in. I really need to just replace the entire CSS with this. I don't know about that, but okay.
Oh, you use Tailwind?
I don't know. This chat Cyan is telling me to.
Yeah, that works. I used it before. It makes CSS easier, supposedly.
So wait, is this for review or is this for? Because I'm not confused. No, it says React. I'm confused.
Oh, it doesn't work.
So wait.
Are you using a React documentation?
No, I was because I'm using a Vue setup now, right? So
Yeah.
I'm confused. Ah, there is a Vue version. Okay. Oh, but it is the same. Okay, it's the same install. And then I need to mess with tsconfig.json, which I have no idea what this is. And then in the tsconfig app JSON. Oh, that's not what I want.
ちょっと待って.
What?
Can you switch screen?
Switch
My
screens?
computer time out. Can you switch to the loading, please? Can you switch your OBS to loading, please? Thank you.
back. Cyan is I'm feeling a little sick, so I'm just gonna finish this slider thing and see how it works. And and I think next time we'll continue and see if we can build something. So let's see about this slider thing if I can make this run. So we need to put this in tsconfig app JSON. Oh, this is for the IDE, I guess. In compiler options, so in here. And then invite config ts. I don't know what any of these files do. I'm a little I need to install something. So I guess instead of define config invite, it's the tailwind. Okay. And so I guess we take this away. And then it's asking for colors. Whatever. How many node modules do we have? Still not terrible. So then in hello world, can I import button instead of slider? UE slider. And then so if I just take a slider like this, and this is count as the value. I have no idea what this class thing is. That did not work. Oh, because we have that, okay. Well, that broke very much. I think I probably shouldn't comment out all this. Oh, interesting. This just edited my style for me. At least the reload is fast. So did this just... Is the style just missing, or did it just... I have no idea what just happened here. apparently we went back to 2 logos and nothing else. Did I just... Yeah, we went... The entire Hello World component seems to have just disappeared. Ah, okay. Oh, okay. This doesn't work. Okay, fine. Whatever that was doesn't work. Okay. Ooh, this is very broken already. The style dying, I expect that, but invalid time check failed for prop model value. Expected array null got number with value 0. Oh. Interesting. Oh, because it has to be an array. Why does it have to be an array? Why does the model value have to be an array? Is it only because of... I guess now it works. But yeah, this looks like a little overkill. And I don't really know why it has to be an array. Yeah, I think this Chatsia seems like a little overkill. Yes, it's Chatsia view. I just don't know why. Oh, okay, and it literally just like adds the components into your app. Okay, this is actually kind of cool because so what happened here? This is interesting because if it's literally just letting me edit everything and clean it out, that's not bad because I'm gonna want to customize these things anyway. So it has a slider root. VSlot model value, the VSlot slider, and then it has this whole class thing with Cyan from libutils. So this is like all the funny CSS to get it to do that. And this is all from Rika UI. What is Rika UI? So this is apparently what this is actually using. Interesting. A little complicated. Like I have no idea what's going on here with use forward props emits and all this stuff. Yeah, it looks like Chatsia view is just Rika UI components with this styling because this also ended up like with Tailwind styling, I guess, right? Because then the slider is like, I guess this is using the styles from Tailwind. So it looks like it's using the CSS from Tailwind from Cyan, and then it's styling Rika components, which is kind of interesting. It looks like that. I might have to look for a few options here for components to see if... Because this is already triggering my sort of... This is a little too overcomplicated kind of sense for me. And I don't mind using Vue, the framework, but I would like to know how everything on top of that is actually built, because I'm going to have to customize it. What's Prime View? Okay. At least it has Vue in the name, so that sounds... Okay, so let's try this thing. This goes in app. No, in main TS. And I guess I need to mount this, so it probably needs to be like that. So let's drop the slider thing. I don't like how this edited my CSS file, like, out of the blue. That feels a little dodgy. Can we go back to my previous thing? What happened here? App is not defined. I need to import app. So my style is still quite broken. That's... I still lost a bunch of styles. I feel like I lost an import here. Yeah, I lost... I don't like what that did. I don't like that that edited my style by itself. That's evil. And I lost whatever was going on here. The styles are imported in app, I think. What was in here? No, where is the styles? Was it in here? Ah, it is. Okay, sorry. Okay, so now we're back to that, but I lost the button. And I think that was some kind of... Oh no, it's because I deleted it, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, we're back. Okay. I think it was Cyan that did the weird editing thing, and I don't like that. Okay, we're back to the example. So now this thing, I guess you need a theme. That sounds fine. Okay, so we're still good. And then it wants a button. I guess you have to add these to here, and then you give them components. And then how do you actually represent them in the components? Okay, so let's see. Do we have a slider? Yes. Okay, that looks nice. So if I just go to Hello World here and add a slider. So let's go to... I need to... Slider. No slider. Because we don't have a... It's not value, it's count. Oh, there we go. And look, it actually updates the button too. Okay, I like this better. This isn't messing with my files. It's a slider that works. It fits into with everything else. And this makes sense, we model count. And it's synchronized, which is what I want. I think this makes sense. I can stand behind this, and I'm gonna want to theme this. Also one thing I do want to do, which is a bit of an interesting question. Oh, this is weird. So I can drag the slider. I can click and it doesn't do anything if I click. But if I click and drag one pixel, sometimes. If I click and drag... Oh, that's weird. Oh, hold on, if I click exactly on the center... Oh, it does work, okay. If I click exactly on the line, it jumps. So that's not good behavior, especially for touch. But I kind of expect that I will need to customize this slider. So the behavior that I actually want for touch is that I can click and drag anywhere on the line, and it will drag the slider. So if I'm clicking and dragging here, for example, I want it to be dragging the slider too, because that way I can, if I have a mixer, right, I want to be able to click not exactly where I am controlling and be able to see the value, right, as I drag. So that's one thing that I'm going to want to customize. I'm not going to do it today because it's a little it's a whole different thing, but that's probably going to be the first thing I'm going to try to do and see how difficult it is to do, which is to customize the slider to have the mouse and touch behavior and appearance that I want. And if I can do that well, then that's a pretty good point of this. Yeah. So I want to, like, for example, I could have double click be a absolute setting, but and I think for desktop, this, sort of dragging from the top thing makes sense. But especially for touch, I want to be able to just slide up and down, as if I would a hardware slider, without necessarily having to be on the dot. And I might even want to add some like hysteresis to it so that it's easier to hit a specific value and stuff like that. So that's going to be maybe an interesting first project for this, is making the sliders behave exactly how I want. And then we can start thinking about the backend. Yes, there are separate events for untouch and button down. Yes, I remember that. And actually, I believe that on here on desktop, you can actually switch to like iPhones, and I think there's a way to like emulate. Yeah, this is touch right now, I think. So now it's doing the equivalent to touch. So I can test this on desktop without having to actually use a touchscreen. But I will. The funny thing is, I will use a touchscreen on desktop because my stream machine has an actual touchscreen monitor on it, which I could plug into my other machine to test this. So yeah, the good thing is the reactivity works, and I assume this also works with the server side processing. So I think this is going to be the proof of concept of this is going to be first making the slider behave how I want for touch, and then setting up the Redis and a very basic backend for that, and proving that we can synchronize like multiple views on the same server. And if that works, then that's pretty much all the proof of concept I need to actually start developing this. So all right, I think we're gonna stop here today. View looks pretty nice. And these components look pretty nice. I might still wanna check out the other frameworks just to see, but I think this is pretty much what I expected. So as long as I can like add custom properties here and have it automatically hook up to the backend values that I want, That's kind of that's gonna be the game here. Yeah, I know the reactivity is client side, but then we can tie it up with the server side, right? So, like in this case, there would probably be a WebSocket for receiving events from the server and then just posting for sending events, or maybe both through the WebSocket. We'll see. We'll see how we do it. All right. All right. I think I'm gonna stop here for today and also see how Cyan's doing. So, yeah. We'll have a WebSocket for receiving updates, and then there'll be like a pop stuff thing going on. We mentioned all that at the beginning of the stream. So, thank you everyone for joining. This is my first time touching Node.js and Vue and Byte and all this stuff. I still don't know what I'm doing, but at least it looks reasonably nice. I need to learn more about these sort of why, I guess it's just the nesting components and stuff, so that's okay. I need to learn more about how to organize my styles, and I still don't know what these JSON files are for. I don't know what this byte config TS is for. I'm a little lost. And we're still instant there. I guess I can get rid of this because this is all tailwind stuff. Yeah, I don't need that. Let's make sure everything's still good. Yeah, everything's still good. Okay. And the live reload is nice, so not good, not bad. DTS is... Oh, so this is like header files? I have no idea what this reference is though, so... No clue. Alright, so yeah, well, I think we're gonna get started with this next time and start building a basic mixer that synchronizes with first works well with the touchscreen and that synchronizes with the server, just to prove that we can make it work. And I might even build a little test client on my stream machine so that I can prove that I can control, say, the volume with that mixer. So that this is going to be a good proof of concept. We'll try that next time. Next time we'll try to build a proof of concept of everything. All right. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm very happy that I could get some help starting with this, because I really have no idea what I'm doing. I really have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully this is going to be quite functional. I'm happy that I could merge the button, which is, I think this is just an HTML button. Yeah, this is just an HTML button. This is a slider component. It wasn't very intrusive to pull in this framework, so that's kind of nice. And the count is just an integer, so that's nice. So this all looks quite sensible. So, thank you everyone for coming. The next time we will be building a proof of concept audio mixer to see how things work. And yeah, it's gonna be a whole series as we build this out. And eventually I want to have things like live karaoke, video lyrics, and stuff like that in here. So there's gonna be a lot of I think there's gonna be a lot of streams working on this. Yes, I know there's no integers in JS, I know it's floats, but a float that happens to be a round integer. Let's just call it an integer. Okay. Besides, the audio mixers are all about floats anyway, so I don't care. Like, I guess for a slider you want it to have quantization, because otherwise it's weird. But actually in the backend it's all going to be like floats and then decibel conversions and things like that. I don't even know. I haven't even decided if I want the storage to be in decibels or in gain. I guess gain, and then the front end's gonna have to convert it. I don't know. There's a lot of things to decide here. So that's gonna be a whole story. And let me show you actually since we had a before I leave, where's my, did I just lose my NekoDeck TXT? Front end, and I'm just gonna list out the kind of services that are going to hook up to this. So for example, OBS has a WebSocket interface. So this is going to be like, there's going to be like a Python bridge between the OBS WebSockets and the whatever WebSocket API or Redis, whatever's in the backend. For the mixer, we're going to have a Carla Mixer is going to be complicated because it has multiple backends actually for different parts. I don't even know if it's going to be 1 or 2 services, but I have a Carla mixing. Carla is this thing. Carla is this like audio patch bay thing, and all my audio for the stream is in this, but not on this machine, so you can't see it now. And so this has a OSC interface that you can use, and I actually just submitted a PR that I need. But then I also have the RME Digiface, which is this thing I wrote. Which is this is a USB control interface for the audio mixer I have, and then the way this is actually configured is really funny. Right now I just have these TXT files with like commands in them, and I literally configure my audio routing in a big JSON blob like this, which is ridiculous. So this is gonna have to be a backend for the mixer, and the way this is gonna work is that I'm gonna declare like sort of UI components. What's gonna be stored in Redis is gonna be like UI mixers, and then there's gonna be a whole algorithm that calculates the actual changes needed on the backend mixer and routing controls to like implement those. So that's going to be like an abstraction layer between, the user-friendly view of how you want to control the audio and the actual routing and mixing in the backend, which is more complicated. So that's all going to be in that service. And then we want like model control. So like VTube Studio and whatever else we use, whatever. I think these all have APIs you can use. I eventually want to have like I want BGM control. Player and control, so something that can do like crossfading. I have that in Python with MPV right now. I don't know if I'll keep using that or something else, but that's something like that. I want to be able to like change BGMs and synchronize with OBS, and also OBS. So another thing that this has to do, for example, is if I am transitioning in OBS, I want to be able to have the models move positions to different places for different scenes automatically without having to like it should be real time, so that when the OBS is doing a transition, right in the middle of a transition where you can't see anything, the model just like changes to a different preset. So that's going to be interesting to synchronize. And then also I don't know if any of you have noticed the ending screen that I have. You'll see it at the end of the stream, but that's also implemented in my crazy Python script right now. It like synchronizes with the BGM to turn up the volume and then switch to to an ending credit scene, and the BGM it's actually has 4 cut points where it transitions to an ending thing. It's actually over complicated, and I thought it was really cool, and I think like nobody has ever complimented me for it because I've had it since the beginning of my streams, since my very first debut. So this whole ending thing, I just press a button and the whole ending sequence happens. That's going to be part of these multiple services are really orchestrating that. What else do we have? I also want like chords and tabs for guitar, for me and Cyan to have like a database of songs with chords and tabs that we can play, and even things like I could have it change control the instrument settings. So I could have it, I can pick a song and it'll like set like the transpose on my keyboard to what I want for whatever the chords are and what key we usually play that song in. Transpose instruments, so it could like change the presets on my keyboard for a particular song. If we just want to, like, I want to play a song and tell her what capo setting she needs on the guitar. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of, and we're gonna just keep adding these one by one, right? So, karaoke, backing tracks, and live lyric display. That's gonna be fun. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of things I want to add for this. So look forward to a lot of development here as we make it work. But at the very least, I want to get these 3 in as soon as possible, and I guess the BGM also, because that's going to be, these are what I need to replace the horrible Python script I have right now. And I really want to do that soon because especially I don't even have audio control of everything. So do I use browser sources in OBS? Yes, I do. Not right now, but I should start using them more. So I have them, I use them for like, actually, some of these are going to be browser sources probably because, for example, it'd be nice to have the karaoke show on the stream. And I do want to have, yeah, that's a good point. So for example, browser source integrations like counters, sub count, and I want to have a thing where my YouTube sub is updated live in the Redis. I have a horrible hack because YouTube doesn't have a live stream sub count API. The public one is like lagging, but you do see the live sub count in the YouTube Studio. So I have a horrible hack where I can pull that up with injected JavaScript, and it just posts the sub count to somewhere. So I plan to just have that running somewhere. I need to figure this out. So I can actually have the sub count available in my database so we can show these things. Karaoke list and lyrics, so it like updates the song list. Yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do. So that's the plan. Look forward to that in future streams. It's going to be a whole, it's going to be many months, probably forever. This is always going to be under development as I improve things. And it's going to be nice doing this on stream instead of off stream as I always did for my horrible hacky Python script. So, so there you go. Okay, everyone, thank you all for coming. Check out the end scene now. I'm literally just going to press like one button on my stream deck and everything's going to happen. So that's really cool. And yeah, we'll have to replicate that. Thank you everyone for coming. Let's see if we can implement the sliders and demo audio mixer thing next time. So and yeah, I think Vue looks pretty nice, and Cyan seems to like Vue, and I don't see anything terribly wrong with it right now, so we're gonna give that a shot. Thank you everyone for coming. I'll see you all next time. What's the next stream? The next stream is undecided yet. I'll let you all know. All right, bye bye.